My accent is from Cuba, where I was raised, but I was born in then the capital of Lithuania, Kovno, and that is where I almost died. Inmates of the ghetto, without exception, including children and the sick, are to leave their homes on Tuesday, October 28, 1941, at 6 a.m. and to assemble in the square and line up in accordance with police instructions. The ghetto inmates are required to report by families. It is forbidden to lock apartments, wardrobe, cupboards, or desks. After 6 a.m., anyone found in the apartments will be shot on sight. We had heard that a thing like this had happened in an adjacent ghetto. So there had been an engineer living in our house, one of the 8 families. And we had dug a hiding place, a bunker. It was very hard because the digging had to be at night. You had to dispose of the soil at night, and it was right under the staircase. And sure enough, when we heard those trucks, I remember that I was sleeping. I was woken up from a nap. And I remember everybody in the house scurrying in the darkness, because it was March and it was the dead of winter in Lithuania, hurrying from one place to the other. They weren't making a sound, and yet you could feel how hysterical everybody was. The hiding place wasn't quite finished. There was no access. There was just a hole right under the staircase and one of the steps, and we had not had time to create like a ladder. So my mother jumped down, and I remember her with her hands outstretched, and my father handed me to her. But while he was doing that, I hit my head on the round hole. And I still remember hitting my head, and that's why I know the hole was round. The Jews that were left were going to be relocated again to Danzig, they said, to work there for the Germans. Well, it was a lie, like all the others. And it was deportation. My parents were put into 2 separate trains. My mother and my grandmother's train went to a place called Stutthof, which was on the border of Poland and Germany, and was a small extermination camp. And my father's train went all the way into Germany, into Dachau concentration camp. And I remained in Kovno, not knowing really who I was supposed to be or where I was. The war for me was over in no time, because I was sent out May 11th, and on August 1st, the Soviets came marching in, defeating the Nazis, pushing them out, and I was free.